The loudest man in the room is usually not the strongest. He is usually the most emotionally exposed. When a man starts shouting, interrupting, threatening, or trying to dominate through volume, he is not showing power. He is revealing that he has lost control of himself. A high-value man does not need to raise his voice to prove his authority. He uses silence. He uses stillness. He uses timing. He uses psychological framing, because real dominance is not about overpowering the room. It is about becoming the unmoved anchor inside the room. Today we are going to break down how high-value men navigate conflict without raising their voice, without losing status, and without allowing someone else's aggression to drag them into emotional chaos. By the end of this video, you'll understand one powerful truth. Composure is not weakness. Composure is controlled power. Welcome to EvoLeveX, the digital-first elite men's performance academy built for ambitious men who want to evolve, elevate, and excel. Here, we do not teach emotional reactions. We teach systems, discipline, strategy, and psychological leverage. If you are serious about becoming calmer, sharper, stronger, and more respected, visit EvoLeveX.com. Most men think conflict is won by intensity. They believe the man who speaks louder, interrupts more, and shows more aggression is the man who dominates. But psychologically, the opposite is often true. When you raise your voice, you send a message to the entire room. You are saying, I am losing control. My emotions are now leading me. That is why high-value men are careful with their voice. They understand that tone is a status signal. A loud voice can force attention, but a controlled voice commands respect. Force creates resistance. Calm authority creates gravity. When someone attacks you verbally and you instantly shout back, defend yourself emotionally, or match their aggression, you enter their frame. Now they are controlling the rhythm, the energy, and the rules of the conflict. But when you pause, breathe, look at them calmly, and respond slowly, you reverse the power dynamic. Suddenly they look unstable and you look composed. The first weapon of a composed man is not a clever sentence. It is a pause, a 3-second pause. When someone says something aggressive or disrespectful, your natural impulse is to respond instantly. But a high-value man does not obey every impulse. He disciplines it. So instead of reacting, you pause. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. In that pause, you reset the room's energy. You stop the emotional momentum. You prevent yourself from being pulled into the other person's nervous system. Most importantly, you make them sit inside the discomfort of what they just said. This is not weakness. This is psychological pressure. When someone throws emotional fire at you and you do not catch it, they are left holding it. Silence forces the aggressive person to hear themselves. It makes their volume look unnecessary, their anger look immature, and their urgency look weak. This is exactly the kind of discipline we build inside EvoLeveX. Modern men do not just need motivation, they need emotional architecture. They need systems for pressure, conflict, focus, money, relationships, and self-mastery. Visit EvoLeveX.com and start training your mind like an elite performer. Now let's talk about the voice, not the loud voice, the grounded voice. A grounded voice is slower, lower, and deliberate. Most people speak faster when they are triggered. Their breathing becomes shallow, their pitch rises, and their words become scattered. They explain too much, defend too much, and justify too much. And the more they speak, the more status they lose. A high-value man does the opposite. He slows down, he lowers his tone, he removes unnecessary words. He speaks like a man who does not need to convince everyone immediately. If someone says, says you never listen, you always think you are right, a reactive man argues back. But a composed man pauses and says, I hear that you feel ignored. Let's separate emotion from facts for a moment. That sentence changes the frame. It does not surrender, it does not attack, it redirects the conversation. And whoever controls the frame controls the conflict. Before you control the conversation, you must control your body. When conflict begins, your nervous system can enter fight or flight mode. Your heart rate rises, your shoulders tighten, your breathing becomes short, and your words become weaker. So regulate yourself first. Use box breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. While the other person is escalating, you regulate. While they are losing command of themselves, you are reclaiming command of yourself. High-value men do not ignore emotions. They identify them without absorbing them. This is tactical empathy. You label what the other person is feeling without letting their emotion become your emotion. Say, it sounds like you feel disrespected. Or, I can see this situation has frustrated you. Or, I understand this matters to you. These sentences do not make you weak, they make you precise. You are not surrendering, you are naming the emotional current so it loses some of its power. There is a difference between saying, you are right, I am wrong, and saying, I understand you are angry. Now let's deal with the actual issue. That is mature masculine leadership. The same principle applies to career and education decisions. When people panic, they make poor choices. That is why proper guidance matters. If you or someone in your family needs career counseling, admission planning, or support for national and international university admissions, connect with Vidya Infinity. Vidya Infinity helps students and parents make smarter education decisions with clarity and confidence. In conflict, most people get trapped in emotional language. They say, you always do this, you never understand, or this is your fault. These are not solutions, these are emotional weapons. A high-value man does not fight every emotional weapon thrown at him. He redirects the conversation toward structure. He says, let's define the actual problem. What outcome are we trying to reach? Let's deal with one issue at a time. What exactly needs to change from here? These questions move the conflict from emotional fog to logical ground, and logical ground is where composed men lead. Sometimes the other person does not want resolution. They want reaction. They want drama. They want to pull you out of your frame. This is where the broken record technique becomes powerful. Calmly repeat your boundary without changing your tone. Say, I am willing to discuss this respectfully. If they interrupt, repeat it. If they raise their voice, say, I am willing to discuss this respectfully, but I am not continuing if this becomes disrespectful. You are not begging, you are not over-explaining, you are simply stating the condition for access to your attention. Your words matter, but your body speaks first. In conflict, use the unmoved anchor stance. Feet grounded, shoulders relaxed, chest open, hands visible, jaw loose, movement minimal. Do not pace nervously. Do not point aggressively. Do not fold into defensive posture. Stay physically still. Stillness is power. When the other person is loud, unstable, and animated, your stillness creates contrast. That contrast makes you look dominant, not because you are trying to intimidate, but because you are not being psychologically moved. You become the anchor, they become the storm. Use calm eye contact. Do not stare aggressively. Do not look away fearfully. Hold eye contact naturally. Break it slowly, then return. This communicates, I see you. I hear you, but I am not afraid of you. The same principle applies in business. Businesses that operate with structure, clarity, and digital systems perform better than businesses that run on chaos. If you are a business owner, entrepreneur, institute, consultant, or service provider, Infinity Growth Tech helps you bring your business online with websites, digital systems, branding, automation, and technology solutions. In today's world, visibility is power, systems are power, and digital presence is power. Physical space also matters. When someone is aggressive, you do not always need to move closer. Sometimes the most powerful move is to create subtle distance. Take one controlled step back, slightly angle your body, reposition calmly. You are silently saying, "You do not control my space." Do not retreat in fear. Reposition with control. A conflict should not run endlessly. Many men lose status because they keep explaining, debating, and defending long after the point is clear. High value men know when to close. Say, "I've heard your point, here is what I'm willing to do," or "This conversation can continue when it stays respectful," or "We are not solving anything at this volume. Let's pause and return to this later." These statements close the loop. They do not invite endless emotional ranting. They create structure. A composed man understands that every conversation needs an exit. Without an exit, conflict becomes performance, and high-value men do not perform for chaos. One moment of composure is impressive. Repeated composure becomes reputation. People begin to understand that chaos does not easily move you. They know you do not shout to be heard. They know your silence has weight. They know your boundaries are real. That reputation becomes social power. Here is the final mindset shift. The goal is not to win the argument. The goal is to lead the environment. Weak men chase the last word. Strong men protect their frame. Weak men raise their voice to feel powerful. Strong men slow their pace to remain powerful. A man who can remain calm under pressure has already won the deepest battle, the battle with himself. And once a man wins that battle, external conflict loses much of its power over him. That is what makes him dangerous. Not violence, not ego, not arrogance, discipline. A man with discipline cannot be easily manipulated. A man with composure cannot be easily provoked. A man with internal authority does not beg the room to respect him. He becomes the standard the room adjusts to. That is the EvoLeveX man. If this video gave you clarity, subscribe to @EvoLeveX. This channel is for men who are done living reactively and are ready to build themselves with discipline, strategy, emotional control, and elite masculine performance. Visit EvoLeveX.com to explore the digital first elite men's performance academy. For career guidance, admission planning, and national or international university support, connect with Infinity. And for websites, automation, digital systems, branding, and technology solutions for your business, connect with Infinity Growth Tech. Build your mind, build your career, build your business, build your life. This is EvoLeveX. Evolve, elevate, excel. And remember, the man who controls his voice controls the room. The man who controls his emotions controls the outcome. But the man who controls himself controls his destiny.